We haven't seen you since Power Slap number 3. Last time you were up there, you had a career-threatening injury. How are you feeling right now on your road to the comeback?
Power Slap too, because I coach number 3.
Oh, good.
But I feel great. You know, I've gotten all of the medical assistance I needed and everything taken care of to recover from the injury and make a full comeback and defend my title yet again.
Do you feel that this fight is more personal to you this time around, the second time going against Azael?
Absolutely. You know, it's very personal for a multitude of reasons. Like I've said before, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's Azael. It has to do with my weight class being slept on. I think Power Slap being slept on in general by the population. So to come back and finally really make a statement for not just my weight class, but the entire promotion is my hopes and plans for this one.
Congratulations on baby number 4. If each of your children were to watch this interview back, at the age of 18, what would you want to say to them?
Never be scared to go out and try. If you never try, you'll never know. And if you don't fail, you'll never learn.
Both you and Azael have identical records. Do you feel like the loser of this matchup, is destined to either go up or down in weight classes after this match?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. You know, I really think for either of us, however the outcome is, that would really be on Power Slap if they were interested in either of us going up and down in weight class. So, not really focused on that much right now, on that part so much right now, more so focused on this fight right now. And if that question arises again and they offer it to us, we'll both have to cross that bridge when we get there.
Hi, John, over here. You kind of touched on this in one of the earlier answers, but I'm curious, when Power Slap first started here, with the UFC and Dana White, there was a lot of fan backlash. Have you seen that getting better or worse or staying the same? What's kind of been the feedback as time goes on?
It's definitely gotten better. You know, me personally, it's not like I walk around my town and people know who I am every soon as I step out of my door or anything. But I've received messages from all around the world, Dagestan, India, Australia, from people who have just said, hey, we've seen your story. We've seen you go up there and fight. We love what you're doing. And, thank you for that. It's like you said, the ridiculous amount of hate we got in the beginning has begun to dissipate. But like anything else, there's always going to be Joe Schmo sitting at home waiting on a hot pocket from mom to get real feisty on the keys real quick to have something to say to us and call us names. But that comes with, any sport, any background. I think if you're a professional athlete, you're always going to have someone to post a comment saying they could do what it is you're doing while they're sitting at home doing absolutely nothing.
And there's been a new rule change since you competed last. Are you aware of it? Have you had to change anything with that in mind?
No, I don't think any of the rule changes are really going to affect what I'm able to do up there. I'm always aware of it because they let us all know, and we have the meetings like we did today already. And there was really no questions that I have to ask or touch on. It's more so being at home, making sure that I've done what I needed to go up there and put on nothing but a clean show.
I know you're slapping second, correct?
Yet again, yes.
So is that something that, at this point, like you said, yet again, it's not an issue, but is that something you're like, that you think it's going to be a little more difficult? You're going to have a harder time or pressure? Or at this point, it doesn't matter?
At this point, it doesn't really matter to me. I haven't really dwelled on it in the past. When you're the champ, everyone wants to come up and knock you out and show that that's what they can do. So it's not the first time I've had someone come up here and really want to take my head off. So, I haven't really focused on that part too much because at the end of the day, it is what it is. We all know what we're here to do, and we know the things that can happen, and that being one of the possibilities. But until it does happen, I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing at this point.
And last question for me. It's unique that we get to talk to you guys after a face-off because usually you're just going right into the match. What did you think of the face-off? Was there anything you noticed or anything you took away from that?
Nothing in particular in the face-off, no. They let us stand there and get as close as possible and stare each other down yet again. So just the intensity of the moment is one to really to relish in and hang out for that quick second of being able to stare into the eyes of the person who wants what I have.
Hey, John. Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. I remember Power Slap 1. I did a sort of a scene setting article for AP, and a lot of the um, comments from different people that were in the audience was the Polynesian support of this sport and the background of where it started. When you grew up on a farm in Ohio, right, far from an island, but when you do your sort of study this and the history of this sport and whatnot, and you see the support when you're not Polynesian, do you still feel sort of the energy that they bring to the arena when you're in a match, when you're coaching, whatever it may be, but just in general, or if you're on the opposite end of it, if you're up against, right, a Polynesian, can you feel that energy?
Absolutely. The energy that they bring for their competitors that they're rooting for in Power Slap is the same energy that I think we all deserve to get. And if you're on the opposite side of that, it just kind of, unfortunately, that's your day at that point in time. So, but yes, the camaraderie that comes through to those folks is truly amazing. And that's what I hope what they get and that transfers over to everybody else for the rest of us in the future.
I forget the way you sort of phrased it, but when you were saying earlier that you didn't think the sport got the respect or the eyeballs on them, but yet you're quoting that you're getting people reaching out to you from other countries. So what do you think the sport needs to do to kind of get those eyeballs and to get its name out there to it's more of a recognizable name?
It's not that our name's not out there, because the views prove otherwise and the stats show otherwise. I think it's more so the people who have the influence, who sleep on us and prefer to, either just not talk about it in general or not give us the opportunity. I get to sit here and talk to you wonderful folks and tell part of my story and get out as much as I can. There's plenty of other people out there who could invite us on their shows, their podcasts, do interviews and any of that stuff to talk to us individually, to get our backstories, our stories through Power Slap, how we found it, how we got here, what we're doing here. There's a whole bunch more to it than the quick clips that you see online. And that's what's going to change people's minds. And those are the opportunities that I think a lot of us aren't getting that we should.
When you talk about the quick clips and stuff online, do you think that the participants are doing enough on social media themselves to help maybe push it? And is that something that you're trying to do more of yourself to kind of push it out there and really making a presence on the social channels?
I'll just speak mostly for myself on that one, because I'm not really here to talk about anybody else at this point. But I've been trying, that's for sure. Life's hectic and crazy. I have a lot going on. But I've definitely really gone out of my way to try and make my social media presence known and keep up with as much as possible when it comes to the reels, when it comes to the posts, when it comes to the sponsor support. Definitely trying to hone in on that and, again, not just grow myself and my following, but help be a leader in Power Slap to grow the entire organization.
When you're going around town, say if you're going out for a night, are people starting to recognize you? And when they do, and if they do they come up to you and do they still sort of scratch their head when you tell them? Or would they bring up Power Slap? Or are most people that you see around town generally very welcoming about it?
For the most part, it's not like anybody new that I didn't know in my life before has come up to me and said anything. It's more so if I introduce myself and talk to them and then they look into it. But the people that have known me since I was a kid, I had a football coach that he recognized me in Walmart. And I never would have thought this man would have remembered me for, it was from third grade when he coached me. So it's not like he had much reason to remember anything from that far back. But he came up, he shook my hand. He said, we watched the whole season. We watched everything you're doing. And, it's small stuff like that people where I'm from, they don't have to support me. They don't have to care. And just that one instance amongst many others I've had recently from, guys that I was in the Marine Corps with in the situation of the physical evaluation board stuff that I had to deal with. I had a friend reach out to me the other day and, a few more in the process. So it's one of those things, again, like I said, people who I've met and actually know me, they don't question it at all. Again, just getting the chance to explain it to the new folks is really all I'm really looking for.
And I guess last thing for me, we always think of the sport, it's man against man, woman against woman. But when you go up there and you're opposite this person, do you feel that support that's up there with you and in a sense fighting with you?
Absolutely. When I go up there, it's not just do I have selfish reasons for doing it? Absolutely, we all do. But there's a multitude of other reasons that if I can use this platform to benefit not just my life but other people in the long run, I have no choice but to aim for that as another goal on top of everything else that I would like to do by the time I'm done up here.
And is your prediction you're going to weather his slap and then take him out with yours?
I would love to do that again, absolutely. But I will always say I'm prepared for 5 rounds of absolute hell. So for him to go up there and beat me in any way, shape, or form, I really hope he's put in the work to, if he does win, be able to do that, because it's going to be one hell of a night if not.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
I got one more for you, then I'll pass it back. You mentioned using your voice, maybe this becoming a platform. Could that be an area to help get more exposure and different, the big thing that people bring up all the time is CTE, right? I watched a hockey fight the other night. There were like 15 blows in the fight. You guys strike each other maybe 5 times each. Is there a platform where you could go out and talk that you feel that would help, maybe talking on CTE or talking on mental health or talking on things like that? Is that something that you're maybe looking into or that you'd like to do or that you think would help grow the brand?
Absolutely. I myself like to talk about mental health in general. I've struggled with it. I've lost family members to suicide and addiction. So it's one of those things that, again, my personal platform may be small, but I'm already taking the steps to the best of my ability to try and make that topic brought up. And when it comes to the CTE thing, if we're going to start nitpicking, don't let kids on trampolines, don't let kids play soccer, don't let kids play football, because all of them at a very young age are getting head trauma. And that's just a few things off that I can riddle off right now that are guaranteed to cause the brain to move around inside your head and give you issues in the future, possibly. Everybody's built different, so you never really know until you get in there and, find out what the issues that really cause that to someone. But like you said, we're taking 5 slaps max right now in what we're doing. You go to one night of sparring, and you're going to get hit a couple hundred times and possibly just one against one opponent. And you're going to spar 5 or 6 times that night, maybe even more. So again, getting the chance to talk about that and really, like the question you asked, to put out there that it's not, you want to nitpick and complain about it because that's what everybody wants to do. And again, that's a lot of people with the keyboard warrior mindset.
Hey, John, how's it going?
Good. How you doing today?
Good. I saw you working on the left. Is that just in case the right goes out again, or are you changing it up this time around?
Good question. That's for me to know and everybody to find out. The left it works. It got me through the last fight that I was in. I know a lot of guys and other people told me, hey, if that would have happened to me, I would have been done. They wouldn't have even been able to land accurate hits because that's what I was able to do. Land clean ones and battle through the hell of what that match was. But as for what exactly I'm going to do, you guys will find out tomorrow.
I've heard you say before that you feel you're the most slept-on champion in Power Slap. Coming up to Power Slap 5, do you still feel that way? And if so, could you elaborate?
Absolutely. I'd say more so slept on at this point than any of the other events. It's not even just me in particular. It's the weight class itself. I feel like everybody else is getting more attention. And this isn't me complaining. This is just how I see it. And, maybe part of the motivation that I tell myself to push harder, to be better, and to chase more greatness in this. But I just feel like all of us in general deserve a little bit more respect at the end of the day than what we get.
And last thing from me, and I don't know if you're going to let us know or not, but cowboy boots tomorrow?
You'll find out.
Just one last one here, John. Being one of the only guys, to be part of the military, what does it mean to you to represent the Marines up here tomorrow night?
That means a lot, not just so much for the Marine Corps itself, but anybody who signed that contract to defend their country of enemies, foreign or domestic, because I know it's a commitment that people may take for granted had they've never done it. And it's I don't know, one more aspect of me that I have to carry up there and really try and represent and be as professional as possible as I can in this.